I'm going to call the meeting of the special meeting of the Borough of Carlisle Vacancy Board to order. It's October 19th, 2024. I'm not the Vacancy Board Chair. Sonia Brown is the Vacancy Board Chair. Unfortunately, she has a health issue in her family that took her out of town this weekend, and so our thoughts are with her this weekend as she's going through that issue. Um, that said, we have two council members via Zoom. We will need, because I don't automatically turn into the chair of this board. I'll need a motion from those who are here and present to appoint me as the chair. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilor Stubbe. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Perry. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Okay. And next, I'll need a motion to permit both Councilors Mellon and Deputy Mayor Landis to attend by video conference. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilor Stubbe. Is there a second?
Second.
You already had your mic on. Second by Councilor Perry. Any discussion on that item? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion passes. So welcome, Councilors Mellon and Councilor Mellon and Deputy Mayor Landis.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're probably warmer than we are. Next is a discussion on a possible motion to establish a selection process by which the Carlisle Vacancy Board will use to fill the open council seat. And then, so this is a meeting today about how we're going to run the next meeting is really all this is. So we'll hopefully be in and out of here relatively quickly. I'm just going to sort of recap. I know everybody who's here was here when we had our vote where we deadlocked. I think during that discussion, in the aftermath of the second ballot, there was no indication that anybody was going to change their vote, so that the vacancy board chair would effectively then be a tiebreaker, assuming no one was changing their votes. No one was changing their votes. My suggestion then would be that we adopt a process by which we'll just simply have the final two candidates return to give the vacancy board chair Brown an opportunity to interview those candidates and then have an opportunity for council to follow up with any additional questions they may have after Chairwoman Brown has her chance to ask questions, and then proceed to a vote on who were the final two candidates, Ms. James and Mr. Shiles. Are there any thoughts on that part of the process so far? Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Stevie.
Just that. So, is everybody going to be able to be here in person on Tuesday? I don't know if we need to amend our existing process to allow for remote voting as we did with Stefania last time.
Yeah, and we could. I
just do that in advance, basically, if we need to.
I don't know, but that's not a bad idea. We can also include an adoption of the same process we use for Councilor Perry. I'm going to start writing things down because I'll forget when I try to pull this all together. And then in addition to that, I mean, I would just suggest we otherwise, as the vacancy board, adopt the same rules that council has on the voting of candidates. Okay. Councilor Mellon, Deputy Mayor Landis, any thoughts on any of that?
I'm all for that. I do plan on being there in person on Tuesday, but I do think it's always smart to change these things in advance if possible.
Okay, and the challenge we may have with that, we'll have to get because Councilor Perry actually had ballots that I think you printed out, right? If Ms. Brown is unable to get back to town, we'll just have to make sure we have some method of her being able to vote if she's able to attend even virtually. So but we'll work out the details of that issue. So what I'll do is I'll look for and I'm going to try to re-outline that process. I'm looking for a motion to approve a process to fill the vacancy by which we would invite the two applicants, Ms. James and Mr. Shiles, back for the vote of the vacancy board on October 22nd at 7 p.m. At that meeting, the vacancy board chair will have an opportunity to interview the two candidates. Council will then have an opportunity to follow up with any questions, and then we will proceed to a vote after any comments and discussion before that vote. In addition to that, I'm challenging you, Patricia, but you'll be able to listen back to this. In addition to that, the motion would include the adoption of the rules of filling vacancies that council has already adopted, along with the suspension of the rule to allow voting virtually by ballot, by text to either the chair, myself, or the borough manager. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
If I think you followed all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Perry. Any discussion? And I'll just also, there was one other thing I wanted to note. Shoot, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, I wanted to note that the vacancy board chair did have the opportunity to review the video from the other evening. It was clipped down by Stephanie, so she had the benefit of that, along with the applications of the candidates. I did reach out to her and had a chat with her about the process that I was going to outline today, and she was accepting of that process. She said she had no strong feelings one way or the other on the process that we'd adopt. So there's a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. I'll call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay.
Aye.
Sorry. Those opposed, say nay, and the motion carries. Next, I'll need a motion to hold the vacancy board meeting on October 22nd at 7 p.m. to interview candidates and vote on the appointment to fill the open council seat. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilor Stubbe. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Perry. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, say nay. The motion carries. And at all our meetings, there's an opportunity for public comment on any issues of the borough. So is there anybody here? You're all candidates for the opening, but anybody want to comment at all on anything? And we don't have anybody else by Zoom, do we, Steph? Okay. Then this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.